Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So welcome to July 1st. Wow. The 7th month of the year. How did that happen? It has been such a weird year. I think back to the beginning of the year when we kept saying, oh, we're coming up on January 1st for 2020 vision. This vision of 2020, I could never have seen. I never could have seen the COVID. I never could have seen the quarantine. I know that it should have been expected, but I couldn't have seen Black Lives Matters or the rioting or the, what is it called when we weren't allowed to go out? For that one, oh yeah, the curfew. Now round 2 of hoarding going on in our stores. Yeah, there was a lot of 2020 vision that I could not see. I'll be straight up about that. So, let's just breathe. It's the 7th month. What do you want for yourself? Time was created by man to make sense of this existence, of course. So I think you always have to just stay in the moment as much as possible, especially since we don't know individually when our clock will run out as an individual. So to always be looking forward or making gigantic goals, it's okay, but being present in the moment is probably always best. So I'm going to try for that. But anyway, what was really funny about this morning for me, ironically funny, as in Alanis Morissette's ironic, I will just say that, was that I had a bunch of errands to run and I put on some new socks that were super cute, these vegan cherries that a student gave me, and put on some jeans I wasn't sure if I could fit into, and I could. Put on some fresh tennis shoes that had just been washed, and I went out to take care of those animals, and I was all on board, and I was filling up their water, and that hose let loose and smacked down on the dirt and shot dirt up all over my shoes, my socks, my jeans. I could have started cursing at the universe and flipping out. Everything slowed down for a moment while I looked for grace. And in the moment, I had to think, I'm so blessed that I have more shoes and more socks and more jeans that so many people do not have, right? And that I can be calm and finish what I'm doing and go change. Oh, that, my friends, was grace. Seriously, that was grace. I was flipping out. So I couldn't help but think of ironic from Alanis Morissette, and it says, well, life has a funny way of sneaking up on you when you think everything's okay and everything's going right. That's exactly what was going down. And after I freaked out, and life has a funny way of helping you out when you think everything's gone wrong and everything blows up in your face. So yes, and worse than that, my husband called just shortly after when I was going to tell my sorrowful tale to say that he had just been rear-ended. So yeah, I got nothing on that. Praise God, he was okay. But of course, the young kid who rear-ended him didn't have insurance, and on and on. And so I am praying for him in this moment. A lot of things happen to us. I don't know if you followed me for any amount of time, you will know that chaos happens on a regular basis. And I think it's okay because it means that we just really participate in life and that God has umpteen opportunities to show us his grace. So I will go with that. Just one more thing. I was just going to look at this song again because I think it's just so fantastic. This is Ironic by Alanis Morissette, and you probably know it. But a traffic jam when you're already late, a no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. Yeah, I really do think. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's the free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? God, you're not kidding, right? And yeah, life has a funny way of sneaking up on you when you're okay. This might be my husband. Let's wait.
Call from Marrow.
Okay, no, we'll let it go. I'm just totally on board for helping my husband if he needs me at all. All right, so no, not my story. We will let that go. But anyway, I think it's just such a great song because, yeah, it just talks about life can be so ironic, and yet remember that part about how it can also be a blessing and that it'll help you out when you think everything's gone wrong and everything's blown up in your face. I'll take it. So just one other thing for today. I am well, praise God. I am on my plan, which I absolutely love, and I'll be sharing throughout the month what that looks like. But I also wanted to give a shout out to the universe because today is July 1st, and I can't believe it's already been 12 years. But 12 years ago, the miraculous story of donating bone marrow, and I will briefly tell that story again because it's so amazing. I had not donated blood. I could not donate blood because I had 4th stage melanoma cancer, skin cancer, and I had to have that cut out of my forearm and out of my side, and I was told that I could not donate blood. And so somehow in the universe, I got a phone call saying, hi, you're a match for somebody who needs bone marrow. They have leukemia and they need bone marrow and you're a match. And I said, that's a neat trick. I've never donated blood. You must have the wrong Juliana. And they said, no, we have you. And there's these swatches, which is like to see how your blood matches up. And they said, you're 5 out of 6 swatches. And this guy's 42. He's got cancer. He has 2 children and a wife. And you're a match. Would you please consider giving bone marrow? And I said, you know what? I'll go with your little imaginary tale. But it's not true for me. But okay, sure. So I went and I re-explained that I had melanoma and da-da-da. And I'm not allowed to donate. And they said that the rules had changed and that skin cancer wasn't really one of the problems and that I could donate blood. So I spent several months going through this process of them actually coming to my school site to draw my blood because I, was a teacher and I couldn't get to where they needed me to and on and on. And it was indeed 5 out of 6 swatches. So I went to actually CHOC, which was Children's Hospital in Orange County. And it was supposed to be a very simple process, meaning it was a 1-day surgery. They went in with these straws, if you will, metal straws, and they put them into the backs of my hip bones, and they sucked out the marrow. And I think because I was so heavy at the time, they were a little too generous on how much they took. They ended up taking like 6 half cups of marrow. And bruised me beyond measure. But whatever the case was, I didn't come well out of the anesthesia. I ended up having to stay the night. There were a lot of graces and blessings in that time, but it was scary. And when I finally did go home, the bruising, which was astronomical and lasted 3 months, the swelling was so great. But what I know happened was that my mouth fell. My mouth fell and my arm went numb. And I was like, really, Father? I'm so glad I ended up donating to this person that I will never meet. It's anonymous. And that I said yes to this plan when you have stolen my smile and my arm is numb. Are you kidding me? It was just unbelievable. And I had to go for weeks like that. And finally, when I surrendered, and when I finally said, you know what, Lord, I'm so grateful that I could even help this individual and possibly save their life. I'm okay with my mouth falling. It's a great story. I'm okay with my numb arm. It still works. I don't like it, but I'm okay. And I'm telling you, within like 48 hours, I woke up and my smile was back and my arm was healed. What it was that the swelling was so great that it was affecting my spinal cord. And as the swelling decreased, all of the nerves that were being affected, including my mouth and my arm, were able to heal. But it was a very scary time, and that was 12 years ago today. And I continue to thank the Lord, and I don't know if that person stayed on the planet or not, but I did right by them. All right, that's my story, people. Like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. If you're ever considering bone marrow donation, don't panic. This was a rare situation, and as usual, it was the Father teaching me a very humble lesson that a great story surpasses a crooked smile. Know that I pray for you until we talk again. Best of all, know that you're blessed.